On May 13, 2026, Catherine stepped onto the tarmac at Reggio Emilia in a cerulean Edaline suit. Within 10 minutes of her appearance, the London designer's digital storefront collapsed under the surge of global traffic. It was the first moment of a two-day solo mission that signaled the return of the monarchy's most effective diplomat. This impact is a measurable economic force. The British textile industry relies on the princess to bolster its domestic production by a calculated £1 billion annually. She is the engine of a trade strategy that no elected official can replicate. In the city center, the Italian carabinieri were forced to cordon off entire districts as the crowd pressed against the barricades. Camera crews from Tokyo and New York fought for a glimpse of the princess, marking her first major international engagement since her return to full duties. The Foreign Office described this mission as the primary instrument for a diplomatic reset with the European Union. In the corridors of power, diplomacy requires a human face to soften the edges of political friction. Catherine provided that face through a quiet, professional presence. She moved through the historic square with the composure of a woman who understands her role is to represent, not to entertain. Each handshake was a brick laid in a new foundation for British influence abroad. Does any other figure in the family possess this level of disciplined influence? In April 1985, cameras captured the cooling distance between a prince and princess in Venice. 41 years later, Catherine stands alone in the Sala del Tricolore. Mayor Marco Massari presents the Primo Tricolore, a gold-fringed standard commemorating the 1797 birth of the Italian flag. Catherine's great-grandmother, Olive Lupton, once managed the family's wool manufacturing business in Leeds. In the center of the hall, the princess runs her fingers over the industrial loom, asking the master weaver about the tension of the local thread. Later at the Ramita Center, the ceremony fades. Catherine rolls up her sleeves. Her hands are in wet clay, pressing into the earth alongside Professor Carla Rinaldi. They discuss the cognitive development of children through sensory play. No flashbulbs disrupt the room. The princess takes a seat at a low wooden table, listening to the science of early childhood for 40 minutes without checking a watch. As the visit concludes, a local teacher stands by the heavy oak exit, watching the black motorcade pull away. She holds a small piece of clay Catherine molded, her knuckles white as she grips the hardened shape. The Italian press corps, usually loud and intrusive, remains silent behind the velvet ropes, their cameras lowered for the first time in 48 hours. As the motorcade cleared the airport perimeter, the mission in Reggio Emilia shifted from a public triumph to a logistical success. Inside the vehicle, the princess did not lean back into the upholstery or reach for a glass of water. She opened a navy leather-bound folder containing the initial briefings for the 2027 Commonwealth Tour. This itinerary, stretching across Canada and Australia, is being drafted with a precision not seen since the late Queen's post-coronation progress in 1953. The recovery is behind her. The work of the crown is now the priority. The calendars for the next 18 months are filling with dates that involve the strategic deployment of the monarchy's most vital diplomatic asset. In the silence of the cabin, the princess reviewed the white papers on New South Wales educational reforms, her pen steady against the movement of the car. She turned to her private secretary with a quiet, professional focus. Where next? The staff at the Foreign Office are already coordinating with their counterparts in Ottawa. The blueprint sits on the desk of the King's private secretary, awaiting the final signature that will send the Princess of Wales back across the globe. Is Catherine's total immersion into royal duty the only way to save the monarchy's relevance? Or is the palace risking her health by placing the entire weight of the Commonwealth on her shoulders so soon? Share your perspective in the comments and subscribe as we continue to track the princess's return to the world stage.